Our next story is the legend of Krampus. Have you been a good little girl? Have you been a good little girl? Have you been a good little boy? The legend of Krampus.
Not too long ago, in a small German town, jolly old Julner, which means you'll figure, came to visit. He arrived in a sleigh garnished with jingle bells and pulled by many reindeer. His beard was long and white, and he held a staff in his hand, leaning it against his shoulder as he guided the sleigh in. A couple of ravens flew off as he stopped and dismounted his sleigh. The noise of the jingling sleigh bells caused the townfolk to look out their windows. They knew that jolly old St. Nicholas had arrived. After all, it was Yule, the midwinter festival, where the great hunters returned for the wild hunt. He was sure to bring presents for all the good boys and girls, but that is not all he brought. As Julner headed to the back of his sleigh to grab a large sack, it was handed to him by his companion. His companion was no ordinary man, nor even a magic little elf. No, Julner's companion had thick, shaggy brown fur that covered his red skin. Two goat-like horns adorned the top of his bestial head. A long pointed tongue flicked in and out of his mouth. In one hand, he held the rooted or birch branches. Around his chest, a chain was wrapped, and it rattled as he walked. A great empty sack was tied to the chain and thrown over his shoulder so that it was lying on his great furred back. His feet were cloven, and his hands were like the claws of a beast, from which he got his name. This was Krampus. Krampus is German for claw. Julner thanked his companion for handing him the full bag and gave off a jovial laugh. Thank you. Ho, ho, ho! It rang through the tiny village. He hefted the sack over his shoulder and started walking towards the closest house. His companion Krampus followed with his chains rattling. The townsfolk turned from their windows to tell the children that St. Nicholas was here and to remind them.
But outside, be quiet and go to bed. It's Krampus night.
After all, it was December 5th. Krampus night. That's Krampus's night. If the children did not obey and go to sleep right away, Krampus would think that they've been bad. There would be no presents from St. Nicholas, and instead Krampus would get them. All the children knew that while jolly St. Nick delivered gifts to the good, Krampus gave coal and rocks to the naughty, punished the bad. And if a child was especially naughty, he would take them off to who knows where, never to be seen again. The children all hurried off to bed, taking care to place their shoes outside the bedroom door so St. Nicholas can fill them with candy and treats. Downstairs, Yule trees were decorated with apples, nuts, and pretzels. These trees were symbolic of Yggdrasil, the world tree, whose fruits would ripen and bear gifts, presents placed under the tree for children, family, and friends. Poor little Helga couldn't sleep that night. The thought of the presents under the tree, and all the excitement of Yule, she just had to sneak out of bed